What it do, what it do. Welcome to another one over here, Game Chopping TV. Tap in, like, comment, and subscribe because we chopping this game over here, man. I had to tap into this one, man. So that man Dame Dash, man. Damian Dash in the building. I saw today where he had, spoke his piece upon how he felt Cameron, a move that Cameron made had potentially, created the downfall of Roc-A-Fella. Made things, a slight sabotage to it, to where, man, things wasn't the same, and wasn't a good move, wasn't a good look, all that. And Dame said that it was a convo that they were having, where it's kind of like, hey, we're discussing this. We're going to put you here in this position. We're going to put him there in this position type stuff. But nothing's official yet. And you go off and you just go blurting that out to everybody. Even though we ain't even, it's not official yet like that. You go out and just blurt it out to people, and, got certain people who maybe feel like they deserve a certain position or that certain position. Either a certain position or that certain position that you're getting, kind of bitter or whatever, just, and everything ain't even set in stone like that yet, but, you kind of jumped the gun on that, and it's like, why would you do something like that? Is it out of excitement or what? Dame, he says, man, he felt like, hey, he was young, maybe, so he kind of maybe gave that a pass a little bit. But as the man being in his 50s now, about 50 years old, talking about Cameron, talking about it, looking back and laughing about the situation, makes him question, did you do that on purpose to sabotage? You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And then, basically, he said, man, Cameron, hey, said he ain't had a hit. He ain't had a hit since basically the Roc-A-Fella era. Crazy work. But we got Dame right here. Let's hear it from him. You know what I'm saying? Let's hear what Dame talking about on this real quick. Fair use, by the way. Fair use. Fair use.
Where I'm from, it's not thorough to have a really private conversation and go to the radio and tell everybody before everyone else knows. Now, I just thought you were young, and I didn't even let you know, but I think you know how many problems that mistake you made caused. But you never said nothing to correct it.
Whoa.
And now you're saying something about the presidency, which is not true. Sitting with people that you used to disrespect daily. At least that's what I used to see.
We're talking about
the fact that you misspoke, not caring about how much damage that caused to Roc-A-Fella.
I'm telling you. I mean, I guess, you know what I'm saying? I guess he looking back in hindsight now, like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Even though you know how much that damage it did to Roc-A-Fella, you have, you know what I'm saying? You didn't even care to try to clear nothing up.
Memphis Bleak told you that started everything.
It was all Memphis Bleak told him
of a conversation we had that you went and made public.
Dang, see?
That's not some Harlem shit.
Oh.
That's some young shit. But now that you're about 50 years old, just laughing about it, thinking that that's funny, without caring about the recourse of this mistake you made, my advice is, I don't think that's the way to approach it. And if you do have someone like Bleak, you should ask them why they were so mad. And I think you should have explained to them that, number one, you weren't going to be doing shit at Roc-A-Fella. You were going to be running Dipset. Nothing to do with Roc-A-Fella. And Beanie was going to be running state property.
So that way, then, a little slight position. You know what I'm saying? Um, but Dame says, man, obviously Bleak felt that way too. If he came and said that was, that wasn't a good move. I mean, I remember Roc-A-Fella was on, Dipset and all that. They was on when it did kick off. Roc-A-Fella, they created clothing line, all that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying, for a quick second. But Dame says that's part of the downfall. Let me see something. Let me get to something.
Said forget it. Maybe I'm wrong. And then I have to pay you $750,000 to do it. And I just said forget it. Maybe I'm wrong.
So basically, he says too that the lawyer, when they were coming close to even trying to do what they were talking about, he says that Cameron had his lawyer to basically get at Dame and request $750,000 just to even do whatever they were talking about doing. And Dame wasn't with it. He just like, man, forget it, man.
And then you attacked my art.
Oh.
So I have to address it. You gave an opinion on my art.
Okay.
I'm going to give an opinion on yours.
Okay.
Since Roc-A-Fella, I haven't seen you make a hit record yet. And to the extent that you're no longer, rapping.
Damn.
So I always wondered about that. I'd be like, I don't understand why you're not putting out these records like you used to. But, at the time, I don't think you weren't coming around, because I think that thing had happened in front of my cousin where, homeboy punched you in your face.
Oh, man.
And you never had that conversation with me. I had to hear about it through my cousin because you're very non-confrontational.
You going in.
I believe that Sen, who's next to you, is P.F., everyone, all your friends, and we all know that you've always been very sensitive.
There you have it, man. He going in, man. You know what I'm saying? At that man Cameron. I guess he say, hot dang it. You know what you did. Basically, you know what you did, hot dang it. And I kind of think he did it on purpose, looking back at it. Because he said how he sit there and laugh. Well, as a 50-year-old man, look back and laugh at that. And I guess Dane, he's still like, yo, man, that screwed everything up. Ain't nothing funny. But Dan said that he didn't want to talk to Dame about getting stole off on, and he had to find out from somebody else that it happened. And I mean, stuff happens, but yeah, man, it's with a lot of these people who was putting out music, who was on around in earlier times, you wonder what's happened or what happened. How come they stopped making music? How come that shut down? How come the clothing stopped? We're now we're getting the stories, and I guess some people still, either they could speak on the stories and see each other in public, and like, hey, this is keeping me afloat. Hey, it's keeping me afloat too, and laugh, and be cool still. Or there's just still bitter blood. Again, there's probably still bitter blood in a lot of cases, even though, this is keeping them afloat. But a lot of, they probably look back at a lot of money that was missed out on because of certain situations like that. So, I mean, you just gotta, that's gotta be the truth. There's gotta be truth to it that, how would you feel, I guess, when you could think about a certain situation where big money was screwed off? You know what I'm saying? And that's what this kind of seems like here. Well, it was. I mean, because we saw Roc-A-Fella in its prime. and when it was cracking. So I don't, I guess anybody and everybody else around, I don't know if they'll feel the same that Dame feels about this. You know, um, I did see something though to where like Memphis Bleak was saying that Dame and Jay-Z will never talk again because basically a certain something happened. So I guess more info will come out because it is interesting to know like what happened and stuff, and they're slowly, more and more slowly coming out. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, let me know what y'all think about this in the comments, man. Do y'all agree of what Dame was saying could have destroyed Roc-A-Fella, or nah, it ain't it? Bad business, whoopty whoopty woo. Whatever what I'm saying, drop it. Let me know what y'all think. I'm a fan of Dame, you know what I'm saying? I think it probably got some truth to it. I think it do. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Another one over here, Game Chopping TV, man. Tap in, like, comment, and subscribe because we chopping this game over here.